Hello everybody, welcome back to the High School Blitz. Week 5 is upon us. Guys, we have 4 games we want to talk about. The first game we want to talk about is Travis going into Bastrop. What are you guys seeing happening this week?
Well, I see Bastrop bouncing back from a very tough loss to LBJ. They've got a running back, Carrington Waits, 117 yards a game. I think him bashing Travis up the middle will take its toll in the second half. I can see Bastrop winning.
Give me the Rebels. Vondrell Hargrove, some people might know that name from what he's accomplished on the track, went to state last year in the hurdles. But each of the past 2 games, he's their quarterback. He's hit the 230-yard with his rushing. And they have another running back, Drake, who's averaging about 6.5 yards a carry. So I like that offense. The defense is going to have to play it better. They gave it 33 to Cedar Creek last week. But give me that offense, and I'll go with the Rebels.
All right, sticking to Cedar, we talk about Cedar Park. I don't know what happened last week, but they were shut out 23-0 to Dripping Springs. It should be interesting as they go up against 4-0 Georgetown. Do you guys see them bouncing back, or do they run into a wall against the Eagles?
It's tough to imagine Cedar Park losing 2 straight games, although I guess they did it in 2012 and went on to win state. But I think it's going to happen here. I like Georgetown. I like the way Ben Bottlinger, the Georgetown quarterback's been playing, and Zach Patterson, their kicker, is coming off a game in which he kicked 4 field goals. So I just like this I just like this Georgetown team a little bit more than I do Cedar Park, and we're going to see what's going on with the Timberwolves.
What about you, Ray?
I say the ultimate comeback. They were humiliated. They were embarrassed. They were stomped on by an up-and-coming, young Dripping Springs football team. There's no way that Joe Willis is going to stand for this, because their motto is they want to be the best team in the state, bar any class. I think it was the ultimate wake-up call. They're not nearly as bad as they were last week. I don't think he's going to have any trouble getting their attention this week.
No.
Georgetown, they've had some good, tough, close games. Defense is better than I thought it would be. They're only averaging 21 points against them a game, but I'm looking for Cedar Park to make that comeback.
All right, well, we'll keep it in Georgetown. Eastview hosts Vista Ridge. Both teams are perfect, almost as perfect as your hair, Rick. But one team must go down this week. Who do you see winning this one?
Well, I hate to say it because they've been off to a great start, but, well, obviously, they're both off to a great start. Eastview, I think they're just too good from an offensive standpoint for Vista Ridge to handle for an entire game. They're only averaging 52 points a game. I mean, I'm a stat man since last year, 52 points a game.
Oh,
both teams are similar, and they both give up 21. Something's got to give. Eastview is just playing too tough right now. They're going to be 5-0 after this one.
You know, I've talked enough this season about Cornelia Garcia, the Eastview running back, Trey Honstein, the Eastview kicker. Adrian Contreras is, I think, a player at Eastview that's kind of gone a little under the radar. Probably their best defensive player. He plays safety for them, but they were using him pretty much the entire game. He had a 99-yard kickoff return last week against Vandegrift, also scored twice as their Wildcat quarterback, and he was their leading receiver last week. So he's just a really talented player, and that talent just goes across the board. I think their defense is going to have their hands full with Devontae Singleton and Matthew Snow, who you talked about earlier in the week with the game ball segment, but I think that Eastview, it's their homecoming game. I think they're going to have a happy homecoming.
Yeah. All right, heading over to St. Michael's High School. They host Wimberley. What can we expect to see here?
Well, I think they're both a little bit on the disappointing side. Both of these teams are used to being 3-1 or 4-0 at this point. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Wimberley. They're coming off a good win for them, 28-27 over Canyon Lake, and there's no substituting a W, you know, for making you feel good. They're averaging about 40 a game. They're a good offensive team. They need work on the defensive end, but I just like them a little bit more than St. Michael's.
I'll go with the Crusaders. Jamison Houston's probably going to be the best player in this game. Going to go to Baylor as a defensive back, but on offense, he's averaging about 7.2 yards a carry, 30 yards a catch. Last year, he had 4 special teams touchdowns, so he's just an explosive player. Deshaun Johnson, is a junior, was at Gerald last year, averaging over 7 yards a carry too. So it's a lot of offensive firepower. I just think St. Michael's is going to be a little bit too much for Wimberley to handle, but who knows? So they lost last week to Navarro, and as Wimberley fans know, Navarro's in their district, so maybe this will be a good measuring,
should be a good game,
good test for them.
Yeah, well, those are 4 good games we're talking about this week. Keep checking back at statesman.com for results and more.